They said the moon was silent, but that night, it screamed. Eren Takahiro woke in the middle of the night, heart pounding like a drum out of rhythm with the world. The room was drenched in silver light, trembling. He thought it was thunder at first, but then he realized the sound wasn't tea from the earth, it was from above. The moon was crying. He walked to the window. The sky was bleeding. A deep crimson halo surrounded the moon, pulsating as if alive. And then he heard it. A low, trembling voice, not through his ears, but inside his bones. "Remember us." The sound tore through him, filling his head with flashes. Cities built on clouds, oceans of light, children with wings of glass. Then everything went dark. The next morning, his mirror didn't recognize him. His eyes glowed faintly under the sunlight. Shadows lagged a second behind his movement, as if the world wasn't sure he existed. He felt like a glitch inside reality. At school, no one noticed, except for one new student, Kaito Minoru. Calm eyes, a faint smile. He walked straight to Eren and whispered, "You heard her too, didn't you?" Eren froze. Kaito rolled up his sleeve. A silver mark pulsed beneath his skin, shaped like a crescent moon. "She's dying," Kaito said quietly, "and we're the only ones who can hear her bleed." From that day, the boys met every night on the hill overlooking the city. The moon hung lower each time, redder, heavier, like it was falling. When they closed their eyes, they saw fragments of another world, a moon kingdom, ancient and luminous, buried beneath memories forgotten by time. A voice whispered to them again and again, "When the last shard remembers, the cycle will begin." The visions grew stronger. The boundaries between dreams and reality began to blur. Streetlights flickered when they walked by. Water mirrored faces that weren't their own. And sometimes, when Eren touched Kaito's shoulder, he saw flashes, not of Kaito, but of himself, from another life. One night, the moon turned almost black. Eren felt his lungs tighten, the air vibrating like a heartbeat. And then he saw her, the girl in white. She floated above the forest, barefoot, her long silver hair drifting like mist. Her eyes were pale as crystal. She smiled, and every tree bowed in silence. "You are her echo," she said. "You are what remains of the ones who built the moon." Eren reached out, trembling. But when his fingers touched her hand, the ground cracked open. Light burst from beneath, swallowing everything. He saw the city below vanish, streets folding like paper, people dissolving into silver dust. And then he saw Kaito, kneeling, crying, the mark on his arm glowing so bright it burned through his skin. "She's taking us back," he gasped. "We were never meant to stay here." Eren tried to pull him up, but Kaito's body began to fade, fragment by fragment. His last words were barely audible. "When the moon stops bleeding, remember my name." The light vanished. Eren stood alone. The moon above was no longer red, just pale, silent, indifferent. Days passed, people said it was an eclipse, but Eren knew better. Every night when he closed his eyes, he heard it, faint, steady, endless, the heartbeat of the moon, and somewhere within that rhythm, Kaito's laughter echoed. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He just walked, following the pull inside his chest. It led him to the same hill where it all began. The wind howled. The moon hung low again like an open wound. Eren whispered, "I'm still here." The air shimmered. His shadow split in two, and for a second he saw Kaito standing beside him. "You remembered," Kaito said, smiling. "Now it begins." The ground trembled. The moon cracked, splitting into luminous shards that spiraled toward the earth. Each one carried a memory, a story, a soul once lost. They pierced through Eren's chest, filling him with unbearable light. He screamed, not in pain, but in awakening. He was the shard, the final piece, the human vessel made to carry the moon's consciousness back to life. As his body dissolved, he saw everything: the moon's birth, the fall of her guardians, the endless cycle of silence and song. And then the sound returned. It was no longer a scream. It was music, gentle, infinite, like the sound of galaxies breathing. In the distance, the city lights flickered once more. People looked up at the sky, mesmerized by the reborn moon, no longer bleeding but shining with a heartbeat of its own. No one remembered the boys. No one spoke their names. But on quiet nights, when the wind carried a strange hum through the trees, some swore they could hear two voices whispering softly, "We were fragments once, but together we became whole." And above them, the moon smiled, her light silver and warm, because the boys who heard her bleed had finally made her whole again.